Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy, Naked Speed here. We're back. It's been a hot minute since we've done a take as my second variant. I would call this like, you guys know how there's like shiny Pokemon in Pokemon? This is my shiny form, so it's a rare occasion, but when it happens, I hope you're excited, you know what I mean? Either way, I don't know what I'm saying. Either way, we're talking about Legion here today. I'm really excited to talk about this hero. I think it's extremely powerful right now. Its win rate is quite high, and honestly, I've played a bunch of games. This is not like a one game where I had a good game. Honestly, I'm gonna show you the score real quick. I was 9-7-10. Bit of a tough match, like straight up, just kind of a hard game overall. But I felt like even though I had a hard game, my hero really shined. Its pickoff potential and damage with the build I'm going to be showing you here today is so freaking high. And once again, keep in mind, I don't think this is a great Legion game, and I don't think I had a great game. The Marcy literally tri-laned me, and I lost a double wave and my tier 1 like 8 minutes into the game or something stupid. I didn't get off to a good start. To be fair, my Dusa had a great game, but we still turned it around. I think I was 1-7 at some point. Okay, no, I'm exaggerating a bit. I was like 2-5, right? 2-5, and we end the game 9-7 with 10 assists. So let's get into it. I'm going to teach you guys how to play Legion and snowball really, really hard. Get a ton of dual damage. This hero is the dual damage master, as now it has an 8 bonus dual damage at 10. And on top of that, the cast range is way better on dual at every single level, and it's extremely noticeable. Like, this buff is so big, I can't even explain, and let's get into it. Alright, for my starting items, I basically go these items every single lane, with no exception. I don't really upgrade the gauntlets, so maybe I'll change my mind at some point. Maybe I'll go for like a stick plus branch variant. The only reason why I prefer this build is having 70 base damage is pretty freaking good, right? You're really just all inning on the ability to deny in CS. Next up, I'm going to be going for my E, and I do this almost every lane as well. I might take my W if I have to dispel like a poison touch or a disruptor Q, but I actually really like to take the E, and this is a bit of a hot take. I don't know if everyone that watches the video or even pros will agree with my build, but I've had a lot of success with this build recently. At least I feel like if the game doesn't get griefed, I'm going to have the most impact on my team by far. Either way, the main thing I'm looking to do is put pressure on every single CS. I'm not really shoving in the wave. In fact, I'm actively not auto-attacking the enemy wave here to make sure that it pushes in towards me. I go for an auto here. I don't really know why Void hit the creep there. But either way, we get 2 denies right off the bat. And if someone tries to trade with you, with the E, you just kind of man up, right? He had to actually time walk away there because the E would have eventually made the trade favorable for me. On top of that, you want to take trades in general because your E heals you, and then what you're going to be skilling next is press the attack. So press the attack is going to heal you as well. So basically, you're doubling down on playing for every single CS, every single deny, and then sustaining the lane. As you can see, I even hit the Void quite a bit here. It's a pretty favorable trade because of the E proc, and yeah, I'm going to have my W in a moment. And then all of a sudden, all the damage that the Void did to me, or the Techies has done to me, is just gone. Right, as the W is an extremely good heal. It's a really, really good heal. It's 150 HP, which is super, super solid for the early game, considering the mana is a bit expensive, but the cooldown is very low, and it gives you attack speed. So obviously, you generally want to use it when trading as well. You want to try to get the combination of HP regen and the attack speed to maximize the effectiveness of this spell. But even with a couple of E-procs and a Tango, I'm up to about full HP anyway. Another way that I'm going to use the W that I think most players don't, even pros, is actually using it to secure creeps at an accelerated rate or even optimize denies. So you'll see here I'm going to walk up, I'm going to pop my W, I'm going to use it to attempt to secure the range creep. It gets denied, but then immediately I have attack speed to go for the upcoming deny here and the CS. Unfortunately, I didn't play that perfectly. The creeps should have been a little bit lower before I clicked my W, I think. I think I clicked it like about a second too early. Either way, you could see the effectiveness of that strategy. Now from there, we'll be rushing Armlet. I haven't done this every single game I played Legion. I've tried out a couple of different builds, but honestly, this build feels so good. And the reason why is I'm going to be maxing out my W and my E. Armlet is the highest damage item you can buy on a strength hero by a long shot. So why would I buy it? In this game in particular, what I really played around and what I think is like really cool that you guys can think about is is my opponent, is the enemy safe laner able to jungle efficiently? And this is a really important question, because if the answer is no, then if you can static the lane and prevent him from getting any CS by denying all of them, or being so strong that he can't even walk up, which Armlet allows you to do both very easily at 7 minutes into the game. I could have gotten a 6-minute Armlet this game, for sure. If I didn't get griefed, if I either got a kill, which typically doesn't happen with this build, but it can. If I either got a kill or didn't get like chain ganked, which you'll see in a moment, I probably would have gotten an extremely early Armlet and just completely kicked the Void out of lane, because he wouldn't be able to get a single CS. My damage would be way, way too high. Unfortunately, I got ganked by the Marcy here. I might have died anyway, honestly. This was probably just me sort of going out of position. I will admit, I probably should have pulled aggro. I manned up in a creep wave with my W not active, which was not great. Maybe I should have even rushed the Helm of the Iron Will. Legion actually does have a bit of an armor problem, so if you do want to rush Helm of the Iron Will, I think it is a great idea. I didn't think I would get pressured that hard in this lane, but Techie's level 3 and Void is a pretty decent trader, so maybe I should have expected to take a bit more damage than I did. I decided to go for like the Ultra Deny and CS and Trade build, like the Aggression build, which I think is good. You can see you hit extremely hard. Even when I'm dying there, you want to man up, right? If you don't go boots, when you're dying, just man up. It is your best bet on Legion, as you can turn most ganks. And now at this point in the lane, this is where things get really fun. Once you hit level 4 approx, you're going to have your Helm of Iron Will, if you're last hitting well, right? I have 30 CS, so keep in mind, you got to have pretty high CS to make this work. But you got to be CSing really well. But if you do that, you get to the point where you're untouchable. If you have these 3 components of Armlet, no carry really trades with you. Basically, no carry trades with you. Obviously, there's like the typical Monkey King, which is a horrible Legion matchup. Even Ursa's pretty... If you have Armlet, you can kind of trade with Ursa. I'm not just saying that. Like, when you get the Armlet against Ursa, you actually kind of threaten him. I'm not just saying that. You should probably buy boots first, but, like... I don't even think I think you can rush Armlet. You can see, though, I'm just annihilating this Void. He tries to go for a couple last hits. Instead of trying to deny 1 CS, I just tried to grief his entire wave. Unfortunately here, I should have reacted to the fact that Marcy could have been in the area, as I went for an aggressive trade onto the Void, and ended up dying with a double wave on me. So that was really bad, but I'll show you what I do next to make this game good anyway. Also, keep in mind, because I've been last hitting so well, all of these deaths don't really matter that much in terms of net worth. Now that the Void did get the tower and does have 2 kills and an assist, of course he's going to be about, 600 gold above me, 700 gold. But it's really not the end of the world, especially considering this concept that I want to show you guys, which is just not shoving the lane. A lot of people have the habit of, like, once it gets into the mid game, that they have to, like, rotate and play super aggressive, but... You don't have to do that. Like, I'm thinking about the Void's game here. He's going to have to pull and then look to take a large camp. You can even see here, he's literally hitting a small camp. Right? This feels horrible for him. He doesn't want to do this. He doesn't want to hit the small camp. And honestly, I even think this is kind of a mistake. I think he probably should have hit the large camp or medium camp, because I think he needed to pull this. Because from his perspective, he's literally going to have to hit neutrals. Okay, he goes for a side pull. Really heads up play from him. Only gets the range creep, though, so that's not great. That's not going to pull the lane back. And so this entire time, and I know this is what he has to do, because he doesn't want to just jungle. If I was against the Naga, I would probably push the lane and look to contest these 2 camps. Does that make sense? If I was against Wraith King, Naga, PL, that type vibe, I wouldn't just like hold the lane back. But if I'm against something like PA or Void or Slark, these types of heroes that can't really just jungle, then I'm really happy to keep the lane back. You can see our net worth gap is quickly closing. Very quickly. Right? Very, very quickly, because lane creeps are worth way more, especially with the introduction of flag bearers. If you're not getting lane CS, you're not farming that fast, most likely. And so I did end up pushing in the lane a little bit eventually. I wanted to, because I got my Armlet now, I wanted to contest some CS. This was a shitty TP mid. I thought maybe we'd get the catch and I'd get a little bit of dual damage, but realistically, 9 times out of 10, guys, don't worry about dual damage until like minute 12, 13, 14, unless it comes to you, because... You get so much value out of sitting in your lane when you have Armlet, because you jungle faster than like any other hero. Legion's flash farm potential is honestly incredible. And so if I kept holding the lane back, I would have probably been even with the Void at this point if I had static the wave and farmed this camp. I honestly think I would be even net worth, even though he has 2 kills and a tower, I would still be close to his net worth. And that is why this concept is so important. Hopefully you guys are kind of picking up what I'm putting down here. It's like creep management and That idea is so important in this current meta. At this point with the armlet, I'm just going to farm the large camp, shove out the wave, so on and so on. I think I make another rotation here, which probably wasn't great. I probably should have just taken the tower. I think I TP mid. Yeah, I thought I could catch the Ember, but realistically, once again, I was so close to blink. I'm so close. If I take the tower in the wave, I'm literally 3 creep camps off, like 3 creep camps and a wave off blink, and then I can go crazy. And you can see just by this like gameplay, you get so farm. You get so farm so fast because of the nature of your hero and this build. By the way, I maxed out my E, and this seems weird, but because you're hitting so hard on a 0.7 cooldown, you are healing 85%, 25% of the time. It's insane. You're full HP constantly, like literally you're full HP constantly, and you hit like a truck. Also, this E is just great for farming, and it works on towers as well, which is pretty cool. So we decided to go for a smoke. At this point in the game, I didn't mind leaving top, but I wish I took the tower and had my blink, because even with dying twice, I could have had a 12-minute armlet blink with 2 deaths. Imagine if you got a kill. You could have an 10-minute blink armlet with this build. That's why I'm so convinced that this is just straight up good, because you might be like, oh, you're AFK, you're buying armlet on Legion, you're AFK, blah, blah. It's 12 minutes in. It's 12 minutes in. You know what I mean? So we go for a gank here. Get a little duel onto the techies. I was happy to flip the map. What I mean by that is like switch with my Medusa, because I know she can get ganked easier than I can. I'm pretty fast. Like Legion's a very fast hero, and I've pressed the attack. So she wants to take the triangle. I could take triangle. Like Legion farms triangle very well actually. But I was happy to swap the map and go for kills with my Tiny. I thought this was good. I looked to the mid lane here. I was afraid of the hero's bottom. So I looked to defend mid. At this point, the game got a little bit hard. This Brew was pretty strong at this point. Even though I was actually quite higher net worth, his hero, I would just say, is like overall stronger than mine, especially when my duel's in a weird spot. I forced the fight a little bit too hard here. This is just a bad decision. My Quap died, and then we go in, which is just bad. But let's move on to the fun part of this game. All right, fun part number 1. So the game kind of slowed down. We didn't really have vision of the enemy team. So look how far. I just love farming. I don't know if I have a problem, but I just love clicking creeps. Maybe a little bit too much, I will admit. It's probably an issue with my hero. I even got smoked by my support, but I was so close to blade mail level 12, and we didn't really have good vision of the enemy, so I'm like, I don't think this is a good smoke. It's kind of just a blind smoke. I'm not going to make this play. I'm just going to farm up my blade mail in a minute, and that's exactly what I do. I just literally just farm the blade mail so freaking fast, and all of a sudden, even with being 1 and 4, we're top 3 net worth. And, you know, obviously you could be like, your Medusa is huge. This is because your Medusa won the lane. My Medusa did win the lane, and they played great. So, you know, shout out to the boys. They definitely did. To be fair, the Marcy left the lane to shut me down. But you can see at this point in the game, I'm hitting for 200 with 20 duel damage. I'm hitting for 200, right? And I duel the Void here, easily killing him off, right? Like, easily. There was plenty of time left on that duel. Unfortunately, I ended up going down here. My team went in. It was almost a good fight. Unfortunately, they barely lived on the Void. But considering that's an Aegis fight, and, you know, yeah, considering that was an Aegis fight, it really wasn't that bad. The Void died anyway. So, mostly space for Dusa. I even felt like Dusa should have TP'd in there. I'm pretty sure we would have won the fight, but you can see you just evaporate people with this build. And it's not expensive. It's super cheap. Like, these items are really cheap. So, once again, I'm having a bad game. Keep in mind, all of these timings that seem, in my opinion, pretty early are off of bad timing. Now, this was my best play of the game, straight up. I think this was like a straight up a game-winning play. And I'm going to show you guys why I make this play. Even though it's pretty blind, it's not that blind. So, I'm respawning in 8. Void's respawning in 12. My main target is Void. I can solo kill Techies, Marcy, Void, and Ember. Brew has a Vanguard. It's a little bit tough. But you get the point, right? I can solo kill most of their heroes. But I'm looking at where can I find one of them alone. Optimally alone, right? They don't have a good save at least, so I could probably kill people even if there's someone around. But the point is I want to find someone I can kill. So how do I look at the map and how do I determine that? Well, the first thing I look at is where's the farm safest and best. Safe? This is safe. This is safe. Both are pretty safe. Close to their towers, right? But what is the best farm for a hero like Void? It's actually his dire jungle, especially if he knows Medusa's in this area and taking his camps. It's definitely the top side of the map. Right? It's definitely the top side of the map. And so I make this read. I'm like, yeah, he doesn't really want to go bottom on Void. He might want to even connect for a potential Roche fight, right? Actually, no, Roche is dead, so that's stupid. But I just assume someone's going to go top. I assume someone's going to go top. I don't think Void wants to TV bottom. I think he's too afraid to TV bottom. Maybe he could have. Honestly, he could have. But maybe someone was bottom on his team. No, okay, he could have TP'd bottom. But the farm is definitely a little bit weird. It's better if he just kind of soaks this all up. You can see. Right? It's just better if he soaks this all up. And so I make the read that someone's going to go there, and I get it right. I predict the fact that Void's going to off his respawn go top. I run top myself. We get a dual kill, and that's massive, right? Hit him up with a preemptive tip during the duel. Very important for mental damage. Nah, that's my boy Yamson. Shout out Yamson. He's a great player. He's actually playing at TI this year, so well, the last chance qualifier, so shout out him. I'm very happy for them. Either way, we get a big kill onto the Void, and that's obviously massive. Not only do we shut down his farm, we set up for a potential mid fight here that my team sort of wins. It was a bit of a weird fight. Oh, no, we do win this one pretty hard. The duel came back up. I run mid. I farmed a couple of camps on my way to mid, and then duel is back up. So I just have duel, and that's the cast range. This is why this hero is so much better now. I swear old Legion might not have gotten this kill, because I short blinked a little bit. I short blinked. You know? A little bit of a chode blink. But it didn't matter. It just didn't matter because of the change. If you don't know what the change is, duel used to be 150 flat. Now it's 250 at level 12, right? So it's 100 bonus cast range. That's massive, right? Like, this is a pretty decent gap. I even misclicked auto-attacked him, but I still got the duel. Old Legion maybe loses this kill. This is a game-changing kill. It's a dual kill on the Ember, right? You know what I mean? And I get 28 damage because of this 10 talent. 28 damage. It's a crazy amount of damage for winning a duel. I get 28 damage as we duel up the Ember and find another kill, catapulting us back up the top 3 on the net worth chart out of nowhere because we fell back down. Oh, this was crazy. So this was a couple of nice mechanical plays, but I got ganked. The Brew sent me up in the air. Maybe a mistake on his part. Maybe he shouldn't have done that. But you can blink out of the Brew Wind Panda. A lot of people didn't know this, but it doesn't do any damage, so you can blink out of it. So I blink out, maybe a bit of a short blink, but I get gone on here. I kind of wanted to pop my Blade Mail before that goes in, but the Void was actually afraid to go in. And you might look at this and be like, why is Void afraid to go in? And his team might have even flamed him. But I actually think it was the right call on his part, because if he went in, my brain was firing off right now. I'm like, I'm dueling the Void. I was about to duel the Void. If he walked up to me, I was going to try to press Blade Mail, duel the Void. Because that is how Legion works. Even if 1,000,000 people are going on you, I am hitting for 340 damage. 20 damage, my bad. NA math, you know, what can you do? But I'm hitting for 320. 22 minutes into the game with a Blade Mail. That lasts longer, by the way. That was a Legion buff. It lasts a second longer, which is a big deal considering Duel lasts 5.5 at max. And now what is 5.5 comically? So, perfectly matches up with Legion. Big buff to the hero. Actually massive. But they go in here. I think I kind of got chain stunned pretty hard by the blast off. So maybe Void could have hit me. I guess realistically he did make a mistake. But I totally understand why he didn't go in. Because I did get silenced, which was rough. They perfectly chain stunned. I wish I got off the Blade Mail before the Marcy W. That would have been optimal here. As he realized he could go in, but just a little bit too late. And crazy. That's the Blade Mail. That's the new Blade Mail right there. And your hero's just really tanky. Like, I have so much armor too. So much armor, so much HP. Like, they actually take so much damage trying to kill me. And yeah, that was funny. Bit of a side note. Quick side note. Don't duel Vanguard low damage heroes. They don't reflect Blade Mail. And they don't take a lot of damage. And Brewmaster is a shit ton of missed chances. This is so bad on my part. Just don't do it. I'm going to skip ahead. Another big concept for Legion is just like not leaving the area. I go for a bit of a split push play here top, which is something I love about Legion. Because you hit so hard, you can literally... I took half of the tier 3 tower in a press the attack duration and got a glyph. Like, that's so freaking value. It's actually insane. So value. And Techies thinks I'm going to leave. He's like, no way this Legion just stays top. Psych! What's up, brother? Little dual damage. Thank you very much. And I go back to farming, right? And you can see you just wipe through the count. I'll play it in one-time speed. Just so you guys see how fast you farm, right? Like, you just chunk creep. I 4-shot the Centaur. Head over to the other camp, clear this, and I'm off map, right? Because it's really good to jungle as Legion. And the reason why it's really good to jungle as Legion in general is people don't know where you are. And if they don't know where you are, they have to fear you, right? So, like, because I'm not showing, this Void doesn't want to clear bottom wave. Like, they don't want to show. This Ember also doesn't want to... He's, like, so afraid to show bottom. Because, you know, your boy Speed Phantom speed. I could be in the trees. He doesn't know. He doesn't know where I am. I'm not showing. So he has to be so afraid. If I show top wave, for instance, right, I intentionally don't clear top wave here. This is some really high-level stuff I'm bringing to you guys on the SpeeedDota channel. But I don't show top wave here, right, because if I do, they know where I am. It's that straightforward. So I don't show, and then they have to be just afraid of shit, and they're not farming anything. Right? They're not farming anything. They're afraid to go to the mid wave, to the bot wave. They could take the chances, but they don't know. Right? They don't know that I'm still top. And so they're afraid, right? Because I can kill any of them. And it's unfortunate I get spotted here, but it didn't really matter. I don't know why they committed so hard onto me, but I had BKB at this point. I'm like mega strong. They make a mistake. He goes up, gets stunned. Easy duel. Easy duel. And we clear the top wave. At that point, they know where I am, so I'm just going to clear the wave. Back to jungling. Shred all the camps. Insta-kill everything. Just literally insta-killing everything. You're extremely good at roshing. I could have soloed this rosh. I have a paladin sword. Even without paladin sword, I could have sold this shit. I could have easily soloed it with the pala. I will admit that I think these like mid-game dual pickoffs on the supports are a bit cheesy. Like, it's really nice for my damage or whatever, but at the same time, oh, 38 damage is wild. 38 damage. That is a wild amount of damage for a duel. I was like, what? Dude, 26. Crazy. But I don't really love these duels. I almost feel like I should have saved it because we're going high ground, and like if you don't have duel, your hero kind of sucks. Like, that's like the biggest downside of Legion. If there's like a duel counter, this hero's kind of garbage, which is like the biggest downside of Legion for sure. It has some really hard counters like Shadow Demon. Even Bane, for instance, can be a bit meh because like Nightmare, if you don't have BKB, it just counters duel hard. So there's some issues with Legion, like False Promise or whatever. But either way, fight breaks out. A little bit of patience here. I'm just waiting for my duel to come back up. We get a nice little Blade Mail duel into the Void. I know I can duel through Nightmare because I have BKB. We easily kill him. Like, literally easily kill him. Actually, he was kind of close. He actually almost lived. Does he have Sunshine Yasha? No, he's just really tanky. Just got the Scotty, but solo kill the Void. Alright, not really. Solo kill the Void. Solo kill the Void with the help of 3 teammates. It's a solo kill. It doesn't matter. I solo killed him. Either way, if I keep going, I just stick next to my Medusa, press the attacker. You know, if you have a hyper carry, always keep in mind, like, at the end of the day, your hero still can play, like, the Dispel Flaming Lasso or Dispel Grip. You can still Dispel all these things, so keep it in mind. So you get a quick little cheeky duel. Again, now we're up to 300 damage! 300! Imagine if the game went a long time. I literally hit for 1,000. And I'm going to go Silver Edge, so I'm going to crit off that damage, too. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm very passionate about this hero. It's so much fun to play. I love playing Legion. It's not surprising to me that this hero is like a top picked hero. I think it's like top 10 in like most played hero in Dota, maybe even top 5. People love Legion. It's not surprising, and honestly, I think the hero is in an extremely good spot right now. So if you're looking for a fun hero that can solo carry pubs, Legion is so fucking good. Oh, I can't say that. I'm gonna get demonetized. Bleep that out, Zuko. Hopefully that was bleeped out. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Just remember, dominate the CS, rush the armlet, dominate the CS. Don't get over, don't dive the tier 1. If they're low on HP, keep the lane back, get the denies, get the CS. When you have your armlet, farm the large camp, keep the lane back, deny the CS. Keep them, if they have 20 CS in minute 10, you've done your job. I could have maybe done that to Void if the lane was a little bit better, if I played a bit better, you know, and if I didn't get ganked. That was possible. And then the game just snowballs from there. Get your armlet, get your like 11-minute blink. Armlet, go brown boots, don't upgrade the boots. I think it's better not to. Because you're not really looking to run at people early. You just keep the lane back. I know I'm stressing this, but it's just so important to me. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe to the channel, by the way. If you're not subscribed, I'm angry. And I'm out. Peace.